So again, my name is Jeff Carlat. I've been with Compaq and now HP for, 16 years. And I've got to experience a lot of launches through the Industry Standard Server Group. It used to be the Systems Division years ago. And this Generation 8 launch truly has been, to me, I think, probably one of the biggest launches from an innovation standpoint. Over the past few years, we've really gone back to, I'll call it our roots of what ProLiant was built on, and that's driving differentiation. We've always viewed ProLiant as being somewhat of a premium product and more of a commodity as the market becomes more and more commoditized. And you've experienced, I think, presentations on the Pillar 1, Pillar 2, Pillar 3. So hopefully you've seen the technology that's integrated into the systems, the intelligence there, the ability of these Gen 8 systems being optimized for whether it be solid state drives or have algorithms to improve performance and intelligence in I/O performance. Hopefully you've heard in Pillar 3.
Well, they're meeting with Mike Kendall after you today.
Which is cool, guys. This is Pillar 3 is all around extending past the server into the racks, the rows, the data center, and power and cooling, which is a huge growing expense item for IT. On Pillar 4, representing with Jerry, Pillar 4 is how do you create a seamless experience through that intelligence in the platforms into a service and support experience, but also we're creating a new online portal that allow customers to monitor and in future manage their underlying IT environment. And we call that proactive service and support. The first thing I want to, sorry Jeffrey, first thing I want to mention is that we got to look back at the real customer problems that customers are experiencing. This Generation 8 launch was all around eliminating or reducing the manual time-consuming activities that IT administrators are plagued with. It was really focused around removing complexity through automation. The technology is heavily around reducing risks through manual errors. Matter of fact, I believe 50% of data center outages are caused by human error. So the innovation here is to really reduce that risk of downtime. But something to really note that we'll talk about is we're also are innovating for channel partners because we believe our value-added channel partners are a key gateway to managing smaller businesses. And you're going to see some innovation here that's specifically designed for those channel partners to give them more efficient and effective ways of managing their clients. So what we are announcing, what we've announced with Generation 8 is a new technology that's called Insight Online. And it's really powered by something called Insight Remote Support that Jerry's leading. At the same time, we're actually developing and delivering new service capabilities from HP based on that underlying telemetry that's in the servers. The net result of all of these technologies, by connecting the servers with a seamless support and service experience, we're able to deliver faster time when problems do happen. Someone at one point told me it's inevitable things are going to fail. Disk drives do three things well: they read, they write, they fail. So the ability of connecting, whether it be the servers into a service and support experience, we can find and fix problems. As a matter of fact, we can identify proactively information, telemetry that's coming from the servers to be able to provide proactive guidance and recommendations to keep the servers up and running, to help optimize the IT infrastructure for our customers. And it's also been shown as you connect the servers to a service and support experience, the first time fix rate, or getting it right the first time, is 95%, where an industry average is 85%. So we're reducing that risk of errors and fixing it right the first time. Insight Online, brand new announcement that we're going to walk through the portal. This is brand new for HP, and what we're doing is it's a personalized portal for monitoring your devices and support statuses, bringing together the infrastructure information around health, and then merging it with key service and support information like contracts and warranty reporting, any support case examples, bringing this all into a personalized portal that customers can access anytime, anywhere, any device. And we're going to walk through that. Secure, personalized view anytime, anywhere, and really automating that service and support experience. Is anyone here familiar with our systems insight management, insight control, basically a CMS? Okay. This is not a replacement to the CMS. I mean, customers are still going to be managing inside the firewall their infrastructure through a central management server. This is extending a lot of that information through HP and into a personalized portal that's hosted by HP, and then merging it with key service and support information. First thing for this demo, or quasi-demo, as I said, you gotta understand how things are linked together. It all starts with the Carlat Gen8 servers, and you heard yesterday, I'm sure, about ILO 4, the ILO management engine, the core capabilities. ILO is a key piece of our intellectual property that we've had since the early days of Carlat, and we're actually extending that as we move forward, through all of our portfolio and extending even past the servers now. Moving forth, you're going to see ILO as a key gateway for us to effectively manage the underlying infrastructure. When you combine Generation 8 servers with Insight Remote Support, which is a stack of software that's currently now loaded in the data center with the CMS, this gives the capability, and this is free software, that gives the capability of porting key telemetry data, being able to port it through HP, which is the next step in the data flow, is securely it's sent to HP, and we built an IT back end to be able to host all the information that's coming from the underlying infrastructure. Securely encrypted, transferred to HP, then we pass that through to HP support, and then we can present that information in this all new portal that's been designed from the ground up, and we'll talk about the design of this. One for the IT administrator, if they choose to log in and use it, and it's presenting that underlying infrastructure telemetry. And we've got one that's been designed for channel partners, as we'll talk about, for managing their clients. So before we go into the demo, let's dwell a little bit. Questions with regards to this connectivity, because this is an opt-in thing for customers, okay? And typically, I'm first to say, hey, when Microsoft asks me if I want to, opt in to send information, I'll say, well, why the hell would I want to do that, right? But there's intrinsic value in customers opting in and allowing some of the lower level telemetry information to be sent through HP and presented for couple reasons. One is this automatic, this improvement in service and support when things do happen, but also then it is the pathway to providing it in the customer's own personalized portal. Any questions with regards to the concept or? Come on.
I'm being good.
No, come on, dude. Throw something so far if you want.
With the portal, when you send the information to HP,
Yeah.
For instance, if I have a hard drive fail,
You got it.
that information is going to go to HP.
We're going to go through exactly that.
You're
Yeah.
gonna, after it gets to HP,
Mhm.
what do you guys do with that information?
Yeah.
Do you
Yep.
contact me, or do you send me out a drive, or do you wait for me to call? And
We're going to
say-
cover all that
Okay,
in a
all
few
right, all right.
seconds.
That's why I didn't want to bring
That's
that up,
fine. That's
because I
fine.
figured-
But what I'm probably not going to cover here is imagine this is a win. We believe this is a win-win for customers and for HP because we also are generating a closed loop quality improvement system based on this data. Imagine, we're shipping 3 million plus servers a year. If we can get a large percentage, if we get 1% of the customers, that's a population for statistical analysis of why things are breaking, why cases are being created, and internally, ongoing sorting and data mining to improve the quality of the products, the processes, the experience, so that there's an intrinsic internal benefit that will result in better products and services in the future as well, that I'm not going to cover, but that's part of this as well. Internal closed loop quality improvement system.
Do you have the flexibility for that transfer channel out to HP to go to some sort of proxy in between? I work primarily in the federal space. There's no chance my customers are letting that data go to you. There's no place for it to go in those networks.
Jerry, you want
So
jump
how
up here,
do
Jerry.
I help my customers with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of challenges, right? So, I mean, it depends what you consider and if there's any willingness to connect at all, right? So, I'll step to this. So I think there's just a question that if there's any willingness. This thing is really about automating the support process, and then also how do you blend the information at the customer side with the information back at HP. So, at some point we need to really kind of understand what we're going to do. I mean, what we're really setting back is the hardware telemetry, right? And we're using that to mesh back to the support experience and a management experience.
I think even if there was a proxy in between that the guys could send it to at one point, then they can leave. If they can see the data, a lot of times they can clean it and say, okay, yes, this can go out.
Sure.
It's obviously not going to be as automated just because they can't.
Yeah.
But a lot of the environments this stuff's sitting in,
Sure.
there
I think
is
that's-
no access. I mean, they're in basements of no window buildings.
Sure, yeah.
You're not getting anything out of. So
Yeah.
So I think that's
is that something that's considered? Is there a way in between? Is there another
Yeah, that's
level
great-
that's
great
capable?
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity for us to look at how to build that in the next, follow-on release where we could put, something in the middle and then basically from that, email them back to a backend, and then once somebody scrubs it and say, no, this field out, this field out.
Yeah,
So
because
I
a lot of
think
it may even be, they can see what machine it is, but you can't know which machine it is.
Sure,
You just,
Yeah.
they need to be able to send you, hey, I need a drive for my 380, or
Sure.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a memory stick out on the 380 that's sitting there.
Right.
That's all they can really send over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Another thing I say, this is the very beginning phases of this, right? This porting of telemetry and building a rich environment outside of the central management server. So we're at the initial phases of this, and when you look at the population of the customers we serve, from the top of the pyramid through the defense and government side through smallest of small businesses, we're going to start out in I'd say getting customers adopting and using it and seeing the benefit where the design is pointed to capture some of those customers. We're not going to it's not going to be immediately acceptable by many customers, and that is a concern. And we're going to continue to grow and evolve this through our roadmap and our release strategy to bring in more and more customers as we see down the road.
Well, I think
Yeah.
if you're using this to see what those algorithms are and what the patterns are, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's an offering that could come even to those customers that maybe they can't have this connectivity, but if you can say, we know that the mean time between this for these drives,
Sure.
if you're planning this is going to be sitting there for 5 years, we've seen that you're probably going to need one out of every 20 drives, you'll need another one in 2 years.
Sure.
Just the way it is,
Yeah.
because that's what our data shows.
Predictive
Here's
analysis.
an offering to be able
Yeah.
to send you that
I
drive
think it's
ahead
great.
of time, you have it sitting there.
Yeah.
Then you know it just becomes another sales point.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
I
know.
mean, what we have looked at, which is done in the first release, is allowing people to manually upload their configuration, and based on that, taking that static piece of information, giving you feedback, right? After the pulls of hundreds and millions of machines out there, we find that these machines, these configurations are optimal, right? That historically, these machines have more high reliability, or these models have high reliability, or these drives have, these kind of underlying issues.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let me
Thanks.
pull up the demo here.
Is it enabled by default?
No.
Send
No.
information?
You have to
No,
opt
it's
in.
not. You have to, okay, you have to go in.
You have to opt. And actually, that's key part of the deployment process, is the ability of opting in for this. So from a demo standpoint, again, let's kind of walk through what the experience would be and kind of set the stage. Let's, imagine we've got a server, we've got an SL product running redundant power, fully redundancy across. And typically, our customers or the IT administrator is going to log into ILO 4. I mean, you've heard about ILO 4 yesterday. It's a great tool, great opportunity of managing remotely, whether it be power on, power off, whether or not the server's on or off. ILO 4 is, this is the view of ILO 4, and let's say we've had an event. Okay, so here's the example of one of your two power supplies goes dead and peters out, right? Boom. In ILO, it represents, yes, you've had a problem. Problem is, time at the time, the identifier, it's a event ID 200, which is a power supply problem category, so just a natural problem. You are now degraded. You're at risk of the server being down through another power supply problem. Goal there for an IT administrator is fix it right, fix it fast, get it back up into full production. So this is the first in the chain of events that happens. And in this case, this is a customer that's connected through Insight Remote Support and is basically opted in for that experience of Insight Online. Now we're going to kind of follow the failure and show you exactly what happens here.
Is there a way that we could take that alert and put it into some sort of workflow? So let's say it was an ESX host, I want to put the host in maintenance mode, move all the VMs off of it. Is there a way that I could take that, send it into some sort of orchestration engine and do that?
Yeah, I think what you'll see is in the next slide when Jeff, when you go ahead and pour it, I'll just stand up here
Yeah,
and
do.
just take up space. This will be in the movies. So I the solution is set up that optionally, if you want to set up, you can do email notification. So you could capture the email and drop it to your workflow and parse the email and do the automation that way.
Okay.
Yeah, in this case, you're right. Your IT administrator's on the beach in Corpus Christi or wherever, and boom, you get the email saying, "Hey, you've had a problem." Okay, so nothing revolutionary about that, but you've got exactly what the description is. What's key here, though, is because you're connected, the server's connected through the service and support experience. We've already created a case. We've already created a support case. So Mr. IT Administrator, Mrs., doesn't have to call you and I. I mean, I hate calling and standing on hold for level 1, tier 1 support, right? Have you rebooted it? That kind of stuff. This is all around giving the right telemetry and information so that HP can resolve it quicker and ideally provide proactive recommendations to avoid it from happening altogether. That's the goal here. So in this case, whether it be your laptop, your iPad, your iPhone, you've got an indication. Now the IT administrator says, I need to go, I'm going to go log in to my own portal. Now I'm on the beach, right? I've got my tablet, but I'm going to go log into my own portal. So they go to HP Support Center. Now, HP Support Center is the host for Insight Online. HP Support Online, we revamped HP Support Center last June, I think it was, or February, back there a ways. And it is a existing portal where many customers are currently using to log in for their support information. So what we're doing is bridging now bringing in all this telemetry from the infrastructure into this support portal and creating a new experience that we'll talk through that's Insight Online. So secure HTTPS, secure socket, encryption of the data, and a customer is basically going to go log in just as they would, or have the ability. And anyone can get access to this through creating their own passport ID and credentials, right, Jerry?
Yep. And so part of the process, the whole support process can work without creating the portal. So if customers are sensitive about any of this stuff being exposed to a public portal, or so it's an optional thing, and if they want to come to the portal and view it, it's an extra flag they can turn on.
Right.
Real quick, the information is sent directly from the server itself, or is it through The CMS.
Yeah, so basically it's the
Private.
server to a on-site CMS for remote support,
Called remote.
which goes to a secure HP IT backend, right?
Okay, so the server
And
itself doesn't need to be internet connected.
The server doesn't, but we will eventually get to a point if you want to direct connect that we could do that, right? But right now we're using a point of aggregation behind the customer's firewall.
But you are working on
You bet.
from one server all the way up.
Yeah,
You bet.
Yeah, we're working
You
on
bet.
that.
We think that that's key to certain segments. Exactly right. Okay, so IT administrator, Jerry, you're the IT administrator. We're logging in. Okay, first thing, this is Inside Online. This is the view, the dashboard view. Couple things to note. This is an all-new view and experience that we're releasing with Inside Online. Countless hours and customer feedback around we want a simple, intuitive way of seeing the telemetry and the information. I always view, when you look at current tools, and Systems Insight Manager is one of those tools, there's a lot of trees and text and tables. The goal here was to be simple, modular, intuitive, presenting this information in a logical fashion, in efficient fashion. So there's been a lot of thought going into a user interface and an experience that makes it easy for customers to take action and see what's going on. Notice this is a tab called Inside Online in this HP Support Center. And this is the customer's own personal dashboard that has presented and displayed the devices that are under management or under monitor in this case, and then merging it with their service information and contract and warranty information, and we'll talk about the benefits of that. All new, visually it's meant to be efficient, and it's also extensible. Go ahead, Jerry.
Maybe just one more comment. I mean, a lot of this stuff may seem similar because there's three key features, right? There's device management, there's management about your service events, and then how you manage your contract and warranty. And a lot of this stuff could be done today, the first column, behind the customer's firewall. But you can't get this blended experience without connecting to HP, because now you're going to merge what you actually have on site to the other information that tied back at HP.
Okay, now I'm IT administrator, logged on my iPad. I'm going to go into the service instance because I got a signal that there was a service event, right? So this is a screen capture of what they would see, and the first device event here, red event, is your 200 problem area, your power supply failure. You can click down on your problem description, your case ID, so you've got access to know exactly what is happening with that service event. And this could be, disk drives, it could be memory, it could be many components of the servers. And what we found actually, we talk about we're trying to reduce the time to problem resolution. We found that many of our customers spend a lot of time really going through log files and identifying to resolve problems and provide that verbal information to customer support, and there's a lot of time and headaches and wait time and delay that is eliminated through connecting this.
Just maybe one key thing. So what you see is that would you see the way we've designed it? We're trying to make it very intuitive, but also put everything in context, right? So every one of these things, device information, the time of the failure, the actual description of failure, and then the support case. You could do all that manually, right? You could dial into another portal and look up the case. You can dial into your own IT backend and look at the configuration, or you can dial into HP and look up a particular case. But now what you have is everything in context. So based on your configuration, the information you're sharing with HP, you can now have this blend experience. When you come to one portal, you can navigate across and down and up and down across, right? Whereas before, you would actually have to log in this portal to do this, you have to log in this other portal to do this. So what HP has done here is built an integrated experience.
Yeah. We've also, throughout this portal and the experience, we've got areas you can hover to get more information without clicking through. So again, really trying to design this for UI ergonomics, make it easier on the life of the IT administrators.
Now with the Inside Online, I know you mentioned on the iPad, do you also have like a mobile version of the site for like an iPhone or an Android phone?
We don't, it's not specifically coded for mobile, right? It's access, go ahead.
To do things. I mean, HP Support Center already has a mobile app that you can actually go to that's tuned for mobile.
okay.
Now, inside online, we're going to add the mobile app in a while.
Okay, so that's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. So it's going to
So
be.
you can access it just as a web page.
Yeah, it's going to be mobile optimized.
Right.
But basically, either way, you can still browse it to a mobile device via
Yeah, you just gotta
web.
pinch and zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so IT administrators say, okay, tell me more about that problem description. So you can drill down, so there's multiple levels of information. Here in this case, this is that service event, that problem area, time it was generated, event details, specifically, who the customer is, the type, the error type, more information around this. And what's key is, we know there are many customers that are out there that are self-service customers. I mean, they take care of their own gear if it's a minor break fix opportunity. So in this case, down at the bottom there is the customer advisor URL. Let's see here. Oh, also, again, I just wanted the case was actually created automatically, so we talked about that. So now we can automatically be taking proactive resolution of that for the customer. And in this case, we link to self-service repair and videos. So again, self-service, we're able to then link directly to videos that provide guidance to the customers on how to replace that component, eliminating or reducing human error or time. It's pretty basic, but there's voiceover on this as well. And there's categories of self-service repair around, drives, heat sinks, processors, memory, system battery, system board, power supply, system. So a lot of the field self-service replaceable components. You have the ability of accessing this rich media.
How many of your customers, okay, maybe a power supply or a drive, I get, but how many of your customers are doing self-service replacements on system boards and processors and things like that?
Yeah, so I mean, what we've designed it, so the things that are easily and customer repairable will actually do a self-help video and then just automatically dispatch the part to you. But the more complicated stuff like system boards, HP will come out and do it. But one of the things about the process is that if you automate the support process, you don't have to first detect the problem, you don't have to troubleshoot the problem. All this happens electronically. We create a support case and actually start the dispatch process and start calling you right away. So it's just for those things that are easy for customer replace. It's a really convenience part, right? Instead of having to wait for somebody to show up.
Does the customer have to do it? Like if power supply goes under warranty, does the customer have to replace it
No,
themselves, or would they come do it?
No, HP
I'm just
is.
curious.
Oh yeah. No, clearly they choose to be self-service.
Got it.
We'd love to, because it's a service offering for us, right? We'd love to support them.
Yeah.
They choose it again. Okay, again, that experience, that IT administrator, again, he's still on the beach, or she, on the beach, and let's see here, let's go back. We're going to go back to that experience. So we went back, this was, again, your service events, where it was number 1 of 3 service events. Now let's kind of take a different dive into looking at the data. We're going to go look at the device. Now, hey, I want to know more about the server, the device that's under management versus the problem, and drilling down on it. So you can click down on the device and see much more information that this is the telemetry that's coming from that original install of the server, opting in and allowing this configuration information to be passed through HP and into this portal. So now you've got, you know exactly what this is. It's an SL230 Gen 8 server. You know it's running Windows Server 2008. You know information around this device, and you've also know, again, service events that we've already reviewed, and then we'll talk a little bit more around contracts and warranty here in a minute.
Now, does this require any software drivers at all on the guest OS?
No, I mean there are I guess later on somewhere, somebody's gonna talk about active management system, right? So basically, this solution will work on bare metal, right? So you buy a brand new box, you know, you power it up, you can turn this on, and if you have a power supply failure, it will be able to warn you, right? What you'll notice here, there are a few things that we have in here, like the OS version. Actually, in this case, we have Windows Server 2008. But unless you have a shim sitting inside the OS, you don't know what the OS is, right? The hardware and the firmware doesn't know it. So that's a benefit, is if you install this little shim that connects down to the IO firmware, we could do that. So just more convenient. So if you want host name versus server serial number, right?
Yeah.
Host name is an OS context.
Right.
Right. So
Here,
it'll work without, but if you install it, then you get more richer information.
So here I clicked on actually the configuration tab that we were just viewing. So here you get more information specifically to the configuration itself. So a lot of the underlying telemetry is coming through. Again, it was via the opt-in process of choosing to allow this information to be passed through.
But I guess I'll just reinforce. I mean, this is one of the nice things about in context, right? We got the thing on the phone saying we got this. We dialed in. We looked at the service vid. But now I want to look more about the service or the actual server itself. So as you saw earlier, when you first came to the portal, we gave you a dashboard across all the devices you own and gave you a dashboard so you know where to drill down. You know, the portal's designed so that you can start at the highest level at a dashboard summary and then drill down any specific device. This, what we showed you earlier, was just a dashboard of a device itself. So you could have a dashboard, your whole environment, or a dashboard by devices.
Yeah, actually, here's back to your dashboard. So we've come back up again. I'm still on the beach, and we've come back up and look at the dashboard. And now we've explored a little around the service events, specifically to the power supply failure. We've drilled down a little bit on the devices itself, the SL server. The other key feature that we're delivering with this release is contract and warranty status. And this is information that many of our customers are spending hours and hours and hours maintaining or managing by paper, by Excel, their servers and correlated contract status and when it expires. And in many cases, their large number of customers call in and they don't have an active support contract, and the goal here is to again reduce a lot of the time-consuming manual labor and contracts and warranty, and bring it together in this personalized portal. It allows customers to.
Yeah, maybe just one quick thing. So one of the things is the portal set up so that it's sliced any way you want it, right? You can drill in at the top at 142 devices, or 3 and 122. But even then, we create warnings. Like here, we'll show you that there's 9 expired contract and warranty. You can drill in and just see those 9. So, it's just designed so you can slice and dice it anyway and navigate down to the area that you care about.
Yeah, exactly. So let's click down on the 122 devices. So, representative example of what a customer would see. Again, all the information around the server. Here we've got an expired server, expired December 15, 2011, single ownership. You've got actions. You can conduct different actions. I'm trying to remember, like to view or transfer ownership of a given device or server to somewhere else. You can add nicknames. You can share it with other IT administrators. So you've got a lot of information on the actions side. Another key thing to note is within this portal, we've developed a series of reports, or the ability of doing reporting of all this information to give the customer's ability of easily running a list of all my open support cases, or a warranty report, which is another time-consuming activity, contract report, even Gen 8 and 08 configuration reports. So you've got information that you can spit out in predefined reports if it helps you effectively manage your IT. So a lot of capabilities, not only for the underlying infrastructure, but also the service and support information. We believe this is a key step forward in bringing together a rich portal for an IT administrator that we're going to build upon moving forward. Today we allow the management and the connectivity of Generation 8 servers. In the summer, we're going to be expanding that for legacy devices, other servers, storage, printers, some enterprise printers, right? So because we believe this experience is something we're going to invest in and create even a richer experience and more IT devices to be monitored and as we move in the future, managed. Now imagine, in the future as we develop and innovate, the ability of upgrading your firmware remotely. The ability now that if we're talking to a lot of people opting in and a lot of data coming in, providing performance statistics or diagnostics on how your configuration is performing as a percentile of the population of those in your sector. I don't know. That there's different things we can do to provide richness and actually create a community around this, a marketplace, ideally, from an HP perspective. If your performance is lagging and, hey, we see that you've got unpopulated DIMM slots and you seem to be memory bandwidth strapped, provide them opportunity of upgrading additional memory or more disk or proactive recommendations and customized service. I view this as a potential path for management as a service and a subscription-based management for HP to help provide guidance and proactive advice for customers that would rather outsource that to someone else. So I think it creates a lot of avenue for innovation on top of this as we move forward.
As you're expanding it to cover the legacy stuff
Mhm.
and things like that, obviously some of the older servers coming in, but for stuff, will it have a way that I can send either traps or like for storage SMIS type stuff to it, even if it's not necessarily HP in the environment? So it gives me that single portal, and where my HP stuff, I know you have the support, at least it gives me a view at everything. Is that the thought, or is it limited just to the HP side of things?
Let me go take
Yeah,
that. So basically, we already have a product today called Inside Remote Support. It does support third-party servers like Dell, IBM, and so we could move some
less
of that
telemetry,
stuff.
of course.
Yeah.
Right, I don't expect
trap.
to give as much,
Right.
just whether it would, so at least have it, if it was a single place to look.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you're already providing that, obviously, then I see I get the functionality, I end up buying
Sure.
more
Yeah,
HP to replace the other stuff. But not every shop is all HP in all
Sure.
reality, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the more I can see that HP is helping, the more I buy HP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay, now let's sign off. Sign out. We're going to sign Jerry out. Now let's kind of shift gears. Okay, I'm a bar. I'm a reseller, and I manage many small businesses. Okay, this is the other enhancement. So we've created a portal, a partner portal, specifically for them. And as their small businesses look to them to manage on behalf of, we want to create an efficient experience to improve the richness of their service offerings to their clients, give them time back to go grow their business or provide greater quality of service. So this is the partner portal. I've got just a few additional slides here to show that. I'm going to log in as myself as a partner, as I've been authorized by the small businesses to look over my flock of IT, basically. Pardon me? Oh, bless you, yes. So here's the example, logging in as a partner. And in this case, instead of seeing just a number of server devices, you're seeing a number of individual customers that are under management by me as the value-added provider. Da Vinci Telecom, Piedmont Security, and I've got visual of what red, green, to understand what's going on in this, a quick visual. So you've now got all my customers laid out in front of me. So we believe that this is going to be a very powerful tool to enable channel partners and value-added providers to more effectively and efficiently manage their customer base. So we're going to look at Da Vinci, which is basically, that last company was Da Vinci. So this is basically from a partner view, the partners can see those devices and the service events and drill down upon that. So it's the same telemetry, it's the same information that's coming in to the partner view and giving them access to drill down as needed into that customer's IT. Jerry, anything to add there?
No, I mean, basically, one of the things about this is that, if the customer is willing to bring his channel partner in, then his channel partner can benefit from all this technology we just showed you, right? The dashboard, the drill down, and all that. So it can allow the partner to have a greater ability to bring value to his end customer, right? Especially depending, if you're really a small, really SMB customers, you may rely on your channel partner to be your IT department, and this enables that. At the same part, if you're a larger, higher up in the, the system, it can allow your channel partner to be your, at least, advisor, right? So you can share whatever you want. You don't have to share everything. You can
That's
choose
right.
what you want to share.
It's customizable. That's right. Exactly. Now, in this case, we just clicked again to look at DaVinci and look at the devices. In this case, the ability of all the devices that are under management or under monitoring, you can group them. In this case, they've grouped them. I want all my Los Angeles devices there, my Houston devices in the middle, and my New York devices are on the right. So you've got this modularity in the UI to be able to customize it based on what makes most efficient way of managing my folks and my gear that's under management. Again, the same similar look and feel from a partner perspective.
Can you create, as a client, not necessarily the partner, but as a client, can you create different accounts to only have access to certain servers?
Yeah,
Yep.
so basically, the whole portal is designed around a person, right? And basically, you can create, as the one admin of one thing, you can actually subgroup this. So basically, you could create another group, so you create a group here, and it's got 56 devices, right? You can grant access to a different set of users just to that. So
Just that
yeah,
group.
you can subset it out, or you can, share your whole thing out to your boss, right?
Yeah, you
and
can
your
share
boss
it,
may
yeah.
have 3 other direct reports, and he can aggregate all up. So basically, you can span up or span down.
For the customer view, it looked like there was just the one view, where the partner view, you had the different sites. Can you get that different site view for the customer view as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I
We just
okay.
didn't want to
All
do
right, no, I
redundancy
understand.
across all
Okay.
the slides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
you're
applies to
right.
customer applies to channel.
Okay.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay. So in this case,
From the VAR standpoint, if they're looking at this, obviously give status, does it also turn red like if they have warranty things running out?
Sure.
yeah. So basically, you know that HP has multiple kinds of different channel partners. We have channel partners that just resell our stuff, and we have partners that actually resell and do services for HP. So for those people that actually do service for HP, we give them more information so that they can, manage the HP portion of contract and warranty for them.
what's key to all this, in my opinion, is it goes back to, I was just met with Forrester just before we came here to, this is an opt-in thing. We're not forcing our customers to do this. This is articulation of the value that gets customers of all sizes over the hump of allowing that lower level telemetry to be sent through. Okay? I firmly believe that this is an avenue that's going to provide an enriched experience for customers that use our gear and provide opportunities to save dollars in headaches, in managing that underlying IT infrastructure. But this initial phase is we've got to get customers to agree to that, or to nod their head yes. And to me, it goes back to the old days of, I was just telling them, of my wife not wanting to buy anything on the internet for fear of my credit card information is going to be stolen, right? Good gosh, we buy more on the internet now than we do just brick and mortar. So I think it's going to be a process that's going to evolve over time. And at the same time, we're going to enrich and provide even greater levels of experience by adding more devices, by adding more capabilities through the portal. But I think this is an avenue that is needed, is really needed to reduce what's causing headaches and pain. But things will fail. Goal is get that server or that storage up and into full production and get it out of a maintenance mode and get it back into production. So I think it has a lot of legs. It's going to take time, and it has been a big project because, again, we've coordinated not only from an ISS server standpoint to embed technologies in the servers that will be connected, but with a services standpoint, our service arm of the organization, and then our IT and building out the infrastructure to house in all this information and to be able to present it in a fashion and to pass it through. It's been a long process, but I think we're on a good path to enrich the lives of the customers that are choosing to use our gear. And Insight Online is not a for fee; it's for free. Okay, it's a part of what ProLine is, a premium product, we believe, in what is becoming more and more commoditized marketplace. Now, in the future, we have the rights of creating new service offerings, maybe for fee, but at this point in time, it's as long as you're under contract and for support with HP, you can go do this.
And I think as Jess mentioned, I mean, I think this is directionally correct, right? I mean, people are now very interested in mobility, about convenience, and just really how you take advantage of technology. I mean, on one hand, wind it back 20, 30 years, you go into the office, you walk in the data center, you stand in front of the console, right, and you do your little thing. But I think what we're trying to empower here is the ability of mobility, managing from anywhere, anytime, right? And just the ability to kind of, connect the stuff from the customer side for the secure HC environment, and for those that want a, anywhere, anytime experience, we blend the experience across what comes from the customer side with all the richness of capabilities at HP, right? The goal in time is to be able to connect to everything at HP relative to your devices. And in the end, as we kind of look across multiple customers and the whole install base, that we would make recommendations back to you. You are probably running a configuration that's maybe suboptimal. Here are other configuration that has better uptime.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty much the demo portion. I got just a couple closer slides. Let's open to some more questions, Matt.
Yeah, so they said, or you said it's only available for servers that are currently under a support contract?
No, actually, we will take devices that are not under support contract, but the experience will be much less.
Less.
Right?
Sure, of course,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah.
Other questions so far? Any feedback? I heard this is a vocal group. Come on, man. Frank?
Only at night.
Come on, man. I'm counting on you. I mean, are we smoking something here, or is this?
No, I think this is awesome. I mean,
Can I get this for absolutely everything I own?
From so definitely.
That's
Yeah.
That's how excited I am about this part.
Is that right?
I think you guys are going in the right direction, and this can be used for more than just servers. I mean, we
Mhm.
talked about
Yeah.
storage, and even, up to desktops. I mean, if
Well,
you put something in
yeah.
there for desktops, you got 1,000 desktops that you're managing.
If you can move it into application monitoring as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Ah.
There's a whole lot of
So
stuff.
get this is great. Yeah, our partnerships with like Microsoft, VMware, whatever. As this becomes rich portal that's being used, they want to partner and get the APIs connected and look at the virtualization, the application, the workloads, and be able to performance tune all the way through the stack. I mean, you're right. I think that's a great idea.
And the one
I don't
thing,
even
as it
care
gets
about that part.
bigger, the more information you guys start to gather and start pulling in information from VMware,
Mhm.
it does, I mean, it could get so big, we have so much information, people are worried about privacy.
Mhm.
But you guys, I mean, it doesn't look like you're putting any information in there that,
There's no personal information.
but, it could get to that point.
Yeah.
is-
So we actually, for this particular solution, we've worked with the industry group Trustee. So we did get their
Security.
seal or security.
They've audited,
privacy,
regulated it, and
And so we have their seals that we're adding that to the portal.
Yeah, like,
And to-
yeah.
I mean, even just the hardware side of it, I'm thinking about it from my experiences, and I'll tell you right there. Anytime I have a service event, I know I'm gonna need at least hour to 2 hours
Yeah.
to open the ticket and do
Yeah.
troubleshooting.
Huh.
And you just eliminated that completely.
Yeah, just
It's
automated.
gone.
And we'd automatically then stimulate the replacement part to be shipped out. I mean, there's not a bunch of user intervention. And the log files that are coming in are accurate. I mean, it's not like sorting through what information, getting it wrong the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing we did very intentional is we worked with the ProLine hardware R&D team and the firmware team. So basically, we have actually embedded the capability to troubleshoot the problem inside the server. So people that are closest to the hardware design actually are calling out what is hardware replaceable. So they are, through the firmware, monitoring all those telemetry and then making a decision when they have a call out, right?
So while right now it's a fully cloud-based solution, is there any thought of being able to have an on-prem version?
Yeah, I mean, the challenge is kind of figure out how to get there, right? Because, one of the things that we want to do here is a couple things.
That could be your
and we're-
intermediate step. And honestly, I think that could be instead of moving it to HP hosted cloud, move it to an on-premise cloud that's the government, whomever is
Right.
the company is owning, and then they've got that. It's in my backyard, even though I still get the experience that you're talking about.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
exactly
thinking.
right.
If it's an on-prem, that even if it means that they have to keep it updated,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
have a
Right.
monthly that they have to keep that box updated because your firmware changes and the updates change
Right.
and such. But if it's an on-prem solution, then if I'm talking
Remove
to the
that,
Navy and they're connecting in
right.
thousands of servers across wherever, well, they're all connected. They're all in that network. So if a box that does this in that network, it's fine, and then they can make the phone call. It's one guy instead of guys at bases all over the world making a phone call.
To get those customers, I think we have to have solutions such as that. I mean, for
Yeah.
those core customers, yes, exactly right.
Yeah, but actually, I'd be interested in feedback. There's two things we thought about, right? One is, landing all the stuff in the middle and letting somebody filter it, and then check, go, right? Or the other option is we get totally disconnected and have a disconnect solution, but then you would have to periodically import information from HP, right? Because the whole idea about contract and warranty expiration, you have to go look back at the HP database. So, and
It's easier to take data into those environments than take data out.
I understand.
Yeah.
So I can always move data up levels of security and
Sure.
put things in. So if it's a matter of
Sure.
updating the system
Sure.
with new data, that's a lot easier.
Sure.
I can always go from an unclassed to a secret to a TS.
Sure.
But going the other way
Yeah.
Mm.
just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Interesting.
and I guess another thing we just need to trade off is the freshness of the experience, right? Because we can update our stuff every day because contracts and warranty expire every day, but how often do you want to refresh your stuff, right?
Right.
Because it happens all instantaneously, right?
So for the
Into
guys
this
that
solution.
were here for the cloud one, you're going to appreciate this question coming from me. So for the VAR side, is there any way to do chargeback?
Not today.
So that they can see how often it's getting used and how much they're actually utilizing it, so they can track how much as the VAR,
Yeah, yeah.
as the reseller is actually being able to know how useful is it to them, or do they have that one customer that really is costing them more money than they're making on them, so they're
Interesting.
trying to dump them.
Interesting. No, that's a great point. Something to go think about.
I'm gonna borrow every dump.
Well, the goal is to optimize their business model, right?
Yeah,
You're right.
so
Yeah,
if they're- if
Whether
they're
it be
costing
weeding
you-
out or
if
bringing
they're
in.
costing more money than I'm making from you,
It's all life is trade-offs.
let him deal with it.
So really, we've talked about it, and it is proven that customers that are under this connection or remote support inside online, we get 66% faster time to problem resolution. That's all the headaches, the hassles, the hold time, and everything together. So there's a true resounding benefit in time savings, which results to dollars. Then it's also known that customers that are connecting automatically and that information's coming in through HP, a 95% first-time fix rate versus an industry average of 85%.
Does that include all the automatic, hey, hard drive failed, we don't even need to talk to the customer, just automatically ship? Is that considered part of the 95% first time
Yeah.
fix?
Yes, exactly.
It's all black.
Exactly. The whole end-to-end support experience is the way I would view it. Then the other lower level kind of quants that we call them is around the time savings around tracking, contracts and warranty, asset configurations. Customers spend a lot of time just what asset is where. And this is one vehicle of looking at assets. You're going to hear from Mike Kendall next around discovery services and location services that are other vehicles of tracking assets as well. So we believe that this technology can enable a better life for the IT administrators, giving them back time to go, whether spend with their family or go drive new innovation into their business, but also for CIOs from a monetary standpoint in how much the server admin ratios and as other core indexes from a CIO
I'm just
standpoint.
curious if the team has any feedback around just the contract and warranty experience. Because I'm just imagining that most customers have a very manual process of how to track all their contract and warranties. You know, you gotta keep your own list, you gotta go talk to your vendor, have them send you data, you have a spreadsheet, and you gotta look at that. I mean, I guess one of the things we found a lot of good feedback was just the fact that this can be done online in the portal and it automatically notifies you which are gonna expire, which ones already have expired, which are gonna expire in the next 30 days, which are gonna expire next year. It just creates a lot of visibility. Every day you log in the portal, you see those numbers
Oh, I would love
automatically
that.
updated.
When I was a customer, I had that spreadsheet, and I
You did?
monthly was going through it, and quarterly giving my boss report, here's the next set of servers and
Can go out.
the next quarter that are going to be going off. Which ones are we gonna renew, which ones are we gonna let fall off,
Yeah.
which ones
Okay.
will we decommission, which ones are we
As
gonna replace.
resellers, we loved people like you because most people banked on us to know.
Well, and
They were talking, we're like,
Yeah.
you bought the server from some other guy 2 years ago. I have no idea how much is left on it.
Yeah,
At least he
and-
was
You should
tracking.
read
Yeah,
it
that was a
now.
plus.
And working for a bar now, this is huge for us, cause this is a service that we offer our customers.
Yeah.
It's
Ah.
kind of a part of a value add is, you know, we're gonna track your.
So if we can make it more efficient for you to
Yeah.
offer that
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, exactly.
So in
There's your
that
time,
case,
yeah.
you know, you as a bar, then you go work with your customers saying, you mind sharing that data with me? And now
Exactly.
you can just, you
Yeah,
know,
and
log
we
in
do
the
a lot of
portal.
managed services as well, so the alerting aspect of it and the issue tracking aspect of it is huge for us, and that piece of it. And we do a lot of non-managed services,
Sure. Sure.
ticket following and helping to
Yeah.
push stuff through faster whatnot
Yeah.
with non-managed service customers as well, so
Yeah.
I mean, from a bar perspective, this is huge as well.
Yeah,
It's just as
and
big
that's,
for bars.
that was very intentional by the team when we designed it. We want to create a compelling value to our channel partners to help them drive adoption, right? And not only get that, you know, but in the end, HP gains and the bar gains from an efficiency standpoint, and then secondarily, we will get more telemetry that we can do more analysis and great, you know, value add back to everybody.
Can you pull data out of this? So like that warranty stuff, if it's coming up for an expiration in 2 months, that they can go into a VAR's CMB.
One of the
or
things
into
that,
their
one of the things
content management system
yeah,
or
one
whatever.
of the feature we showed you was that, which we actually didn't go into display, but there's some iReports, so you can, you know, create a report for warranty and contracts, export it onto Excel spreadsheet, and you can
Put it
upload it
into
into
Salesforce.
where.
There's a certain amount of
Yeah,
data
whatever you
that's
want.
Yeah.
However you
exportable.
want it.
Mainly so it gets to the sales staff of the VAR, so they can
Mhm.
go sell them their
Sure.
servers
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah,
expired.
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and HP is gonna get more elegant down the road where we're gonna get lead gen and all these kind of opportunities
Yeah.
for our channel partners.
Yeah. And I guess the final slide that I just want to say, our ultimate goal is fixing things before they fail. So we're working closely with services to allow this telemetry that's coming from the server, coming through HP and Inside Online, to be able to use by our service organization to provide that proactive recommendations and IT optimization. So there's service offerings that we're offering to allow customers to have a kind of a single person at HP rather than a revolving door that's kind of looking over and using the data that's coming from the intelligence of the server to provide ongoing optimization recommendations. So we've got other service offerings that are built from this intelligence that's coming from the servers. So, you know, in a nutshell, 24/7 automated event monitoring support cases anywhere, anytime, cloud-based portal, and designed for customers and partners to really give them back that precious time. So I know we're out of time, and that's what I had. That's Inside Online. That's Pillar 4. That's proactive service and support. So.
I'd like to just make one more comment. So I don't know if any of you